Hey Anna, how are you?
Hello, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, thanks.
I have a question for you, and topic's gonna shock you. I want to talk about Jira Cloud,
Yeah.
but I want to talk specifically about migration.
Okay.
Um, we've stood up a lot of new customers on cloud. I have a lot of server on-prem customers. I want to walk them through this process. And I've done a lot of research independently, but I was hoping you could just sort of give some insight into exactly what our process is and what the principles are behind that.
No problem. So
Okay.
we have a six kind of step process for
Okay.
any server to cloud or data center to cloud migration.
Okay.
It starts with an overall assessment. So it's both a technical assessment and also kind of an assessment of the team. So are there more than one physical location that we need to coordinate time zones, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
From that assessment, we develop a plan and we coordinate that and go over it with our clients and customers. We'll do full on prep. So the third step is prepare for it. So what do we need to do in terms of tools that we're using or environments that we're standing up?
Okay.
And the fourth step is we'll do a full pre migration run. So we'll test the whole thing.
Oh,
And then the fifth step is we'll validate it. And then
okay.
the sixth step is we go with a full on production deployment.
Okay, great. So talk to me about two of those jump out at me.
Hmm.
One, the assessment, and
Hmm.
two, sort of the post migration validation. Like, how do we perform those? And is there anything about those steps? I would assume, that's what most people would go through that kind of sets us apart.
Yeah, we have great question. We have three core principles to all of our data migrations. The
Okay.
first one is data integrity. So we have to ensure that the data is there and it's accurate.
Okay.
The second one is that we kept to our time frame and our schedule that we laid out. So we
Okay.
want to make sure that we're doing this in the time frame that we established as part of it.
Okay.
And then the third one is keeping user disruption to a minimum. So all of those steps I talked about, especially the ones that you highlighted, really emphasize we want to know what the user patterns are, especially if they're in more than one time zone. We want to
Okay.
know what we have to coordinate against. And we really want to limit the disruption to any user.
Okay. So
And
we're
then the
checking.
validation one that you asked about is
Yeah.
it's all about the data integrity. We want to make sure that the plan is rock solid. We know it works. We've already done it. We know the
Right.
data is going to come across the way we expect it to. So data integrity is there. User management, or excuse me, user disruption is at a minimum, and we're
Okay.
doing it, on time.
So we're checking, I'm just thinking through sort of as a client what I would want to see. So we're checking like all of any add-ons, any integrations, all of that gets sort of part of that dry run.
Exactly. So
Okay.
that's kind of the technical side of it, right? So what else? What version you're running?
Okay.
What technical steps or firewalls or what technical things that we need to consider?
Okay.
And then the whole other aspect of the assessment is how do people use it? Right? Do people need to be trained on the cloud? Do people the way people
It's not
use it
exactly
today
the
is
same.
that it's not exactly the same, right? So that but do they need to have any training as part of it? We need to support them. And then really, is anything going to change? Because we've talked before about some of the differences. So
Right.
how they use it might be a little bit different.
Okay.
And we want to make that as part of the consideration so that on the other side of the migration, those users are, um, you know, excuse me, they are handed the tools to be successful in the new environment.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Well, it sounds like a very cohesive turnkey migration plan. I like it.
we try to make it as easy as possible.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Take care.
Okay. Bye, Mike.
Bye.